Did you say Foley?
The Beverly Hills Cop franchise is back in action for a fourth time, and Eddie Murphy is back in the driver's seat. The new movie, Beverly Hills Cop, Axel F, is streaming now on Netflix, and Eli joins me to talk about this movie. Eli, it's been decades since this movie came out.
Yes.
That's a little dig
Yeah.
at our senior
Yeah,
producer
that's right.
who loves this movie.
Lots of people love these movies.
Well, it is one of those movies that can date you, even though it's a classic. I think it's going to win over new fans. But remind us what Eddie Murphy was doing way back, decades ago, 1984.
I am embracing my role as the elder statesman of cinema. I'm wearing my 1980s G.I. Joe bedspread turned into Hawaiian shirt.
Wow.
Just to really kind of bring the 80s vibe. And if you think I'm bringing the 80s vibe, wait till you see what this movie is doing. But first, a little refresher. Let me bring you back. 1984, Eddie Murphy is at the height of his powers. When this movie came out, he was reigning supreme. He was the king of comedy on Saturday Night Live. His album Delirious had won a Grammy. He was 21. Can you imagine?
Wow.
21. There he is. 21-year-old Eddie Murphy laughing at the Michael Jackson jackets, shooting this film, and then what a perfect vehicle for Eddie Murphy as Axel Foley, the hot shot from Detroit, swanning around La La Land, talking his way in and out of trouble. Let's take a closer look.
I just got off the phone with Inspector Todd in Detroit. He says if you're out here investigating the Tandino murder, you needn't bother coming back.
I don't want to take it anymore.
For a man who claims to be on vacation, you look a lot like you're on a stakeout.
Stakeout? No. I'm picnicking. This is like a picnic.
All right, so, Axel doing his thing, talking his way out of a situation. Big hit, followed up by Beverly Hills Cop 2, directed by Tony Scott, pretty good. Beverly Hills Cop 3, not as good. That came out at night. Even Eddie Murphy himself complained about that film. And in this new movie, there's a joke making fun of the third film. But now, he says he's got the winning formula because he's back working with mega producer Jerry Bruckheimer. This is the guy who gave us Top Gun and Armageddon and Bad Boys. Now, not known exactly for his subtlety, this is a formula, what Eddie thinks is a formula for a winning movie, but really is a formula for the generation that remembers the original Beverly Hills Cop. I mean, soundtrack alone, you'll notice when you hear the clip I'm about to play, this is from the new movie. You've got the Pointer Sisters, you've got a little Bob Seger, you've got some Don Henley, and you've got Axel Foley up to no good, chasing after the bad guys in Detroit. Let's take a look.
Stop hitting cars!
A lot of blind spots in the snowplow.
You could close your eyes and think, oh, is that an outtake from Beverly Hills Cop 2? Like, doesn't feel like much has changed. That is Bob Seger singing Shakedown. We even get a cameo earlier on in that scene from Paul Reiser, who was in the original films. So what happens? Axel Foley gets a call from his buddy Billy. Remember Billy, Judge Reinhold, and he's been working on a case involving the Mexican cartel, and it looks like Billy's in trouble. And also, well, Axel Foley has a daughter now. That's how old we're all getting. His daughter is named Jane. She is a criminal defense attorney working on a case trying to get a cop killer out of jail, and now she's in trouble. So, of course, Axel has to go down there to try and kind of figure out what's happening. Now, let's just say the father-daughter bond, not so strong this time around.
This is very embarrassing. Part of me rather get locked up than get put in this little Fisher-Price-looking squad car. Y'all are the Lego cops. Jane, hey, this is your father. Before you hang up, I'm in town. I've been arrested. Hello? You sure y'all paying y'all's bills? Because this phone don't work.
All right, so the father-daughter, relationship still needs a bit of work. The cops you saw putting him into the car, one of those is Bria Murphy. It was actually Eddie Murphy's real-life daughter, and him saying, y'all, the Lego cops, that was improvisation. So Eddie still kind of has it. He's still coming up with lines.
As soon as I heard his voice behind that wheel, Eddie is back. He looks really good.
He's 63, though.
I know, you can't tell. You're making me wish I brought my broad shoulder pads and that we teased my hair a little bit bigger this morning. There are other familiar faces in this movie other than Eddie Murphy.
So many familiar faces, almost too many, but there are some new faces, including Joseph Gordon-Levitt as a cop named Detective Bobby Abbott. Turns out him and Jane, remember the daughter, they had a little bit of history. He gets pulled into Foley's shenanigans. Now, every comedy needs a straight man, and Joseph Gordon-Levitt is good here because he's kind of the gruff, let's do it by the book kind of cop. It's not going to work out when you're riding along to the rescue with Axel Foley. Let's watch.
Yeah, okay. Stay safe. Stay safe. Y'all safe? Everybody safe?
I'm good. There's no seatbelt in the middle.
A seatbelt. We on the edge.
We're gonna need some backup. We're fugitives driving a truck full of cocaine. I don't think it's a good idea to call for backup. What are you doing?
And that's the brilliant plan for backup. He had a couple cop cars, so they start chasing him, and they all kind of ride to the rescue. And to keep the 80s flame burning, you talked about familiar faces. You've got Bronson Pinchot as Sarge. Remember Sarge, of course? He's hilarious. Kevin Bacon shows up as the slippery police captain, giving us the Footloose vibes. Chief John Taggart, like the gang is all here.
Of course, Kevin Bacon. You're giving away your rating a little bit, given that you're dressed for the movie. But very quickly, talk about whether they missed an opportunity releasing this on Netflix.
At the beginning, I thought they did. Yeah. Because you look at the performance of Bad Boys, Ride or Die. I mean, another movie definitely trading on nostalgia. A lot of people had a good time laughing with Martin Lawrence and Will Smith in theaters. And comedies are always better with a crowd. But I gotta say, on the one hand, I'm really happy to see Eddie back. He seems more comfortable. He seems even a tad more mature. Like a part of the film is exploring the relationship between him and his daughter. And so there's a confidence there. There's still the improv. He still has it. Yeah. But I need more in a movie than just an 80s playlist and a recycled plot about a drug cartel that feels like it was taken from Miami Vice. And so too much of this movie is just hammering that nostalgia button. And so in the end, as great as it is to see Eddie Murphy back, I think it's just kind of comedic comfort food. And this is a movie made for the couch, made for the laundry room. I got a friend out in Halifax. He watches his best films as he's folding laundry. This is that kind of film. Just you're back with your old friends. It's fun, but maybe not necessarily worth a night out.
Okay, so the star rating for this.
So the star rating for this cinematic comfort food with the Don Henley and all the rest and our friend Eddie is 3 out of 5. So didn't need to be in theaters, but nice to see him back.
Yeah, and Eddie, anything with Eddie Murphy, the people will watch it just for Eddie Murphy.
He's got a new Shrek film coming out soon. Donkey goes in the spotlight, so there's more Eddie to come.
It's that voice. Eli, thank you so much.
You're welcome.